Toronto Maple Leafs now hold a 6-point lead atop the division in the North over both Edmonton and Winnipeg, an 18-point lead over Calgary. Oh. They have the league's best road record, 13-4-1. And, it looks to me like this team is still slightly incomplete. And I think you guys, I know it sounds ridiculous at 53 points and they're number one in the division, whatever. But we're not going for second or third round here where we want to win a cup.
Yeah.
So when we talk about the line construction, and you guys were just talking about it before I so rudely cut it off, I want you to keep going on that, because my question is, from what you've seen, and I have my own opinion on this too, do you think that the Leafs' needs are anything above the third line now? What I mean by that is there have been a couple of teams, a la the Nashville Predators, that have surged lately, who now think that they're good. They're not, but they think they are. And
they're in a playoff spot.
Yeah, they still suck, though. Come on. Really? Come on. Are we kidding here?
I don't know. Hear it from Nashville fans.
I don't know if they suck, but I think you were definitely onto something about the Central. It's not a strong division. They have 3 wicked teams and a bunch of others.
Yeah. You had 3 wicked teams dining out on bad teams. But beyond that, so they don't want to sell Granlund, fine. Keep Granlund, get bounced in the first round, whatever you want to do. Nashville's cool. But my thing is,
you're gonna get ready. Tortured online.
I'm ready.
What did Kevin do to you? What do our friends in Nashville do to you?
I love my boy Kevin. But my question is for what the Leafs need to target. People are talking about, are they going to deal Nick Robertson? Are they going to deal Rasmus Sandin? Are they going to deal the first round pick? I don't think they need to deal any of them.
No.
I think if Robertson's back and he's healthy, there's an ad right there to that third line you expected him to be on. They expected him to be on that third line all year long. And he's not, because that injury, I guess, is pretty bad. So you're not going to trade him because he's injured. And most teams will be like, well, that'll affect the value and blah, 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 blah. So you're not going to get into that. Rasmus Sandin, you're not trading him. Timothy Liljegren, maybe. First round pick, maybe. But I'm seeing that, first off, it's a buyer's market. Number 2, Gouch seems to be a fit. And now I know he scored exactly 1 goal, and we need to pump the brakes. But it's the way he's played on that line where you go, I don't think that we need to do much more here. Do we?
No. Nylander, I don't know if he's really looked bad this season. He maybe had a little stretch. Tavares, though, the last maybe couple weeks, what a player. Real good. And I know Keefe didn't use him very much against Calgary. I think it was less than 60 minutes. But when he was on the ice, they dominated. Yeah. There was the 1 goal against. But in terms of chances, and they did get the 1 goal, they dominated. Really good line. But they had this unbelievable third option in Hyman, Engvall, Mikheyev, and Simmons is not that. He's more of a net front guy, and Hyman will go into the corner and bring it to the net front. Simmons was that. I don't really know if he's that anymore. And you got Engvall and Mikheyev, who are unique players in how tall and fast they are, but it's just a muffin factory. And that does nothing. That does nothing for a guy like Simmons. It's not the right way to use that player. I either want to see a grumpy old men line with Spezza, Thornton, and Simmons. I think that's a better fit for him. And we already know Kerfoot with Mikheyev and Engvall has worked. I don't know. It's that bottom 6 isn't really doing it for me.
And just to update you, Adam, Nick Robertson is back. He's been playing with the Marlies. Had 4 shots on Saturday.
He took a huge hit and briefly left the game before coming back.
Mm-hmm. I think SDA set him up for an assist last time too, right? Didn't we talk about that on the show?
Yes, he did.
Sort of beautiful play there. Yeah,
he did. Listen, SDA's first professional point in North America was a pass
Nick
to
Robertson.
Hilarious.
What a surprise. No, my thing is that why waste resources? You found Gouch, that's found money. Don't tempt fate, because here's the thing. Gouch on the third line probably doesn't look as good. I don't think he's going to drive a line. But if you're looking for that physical, in-your-face sort of winger that Gouch seems to want to be now, which was, driving teams nuts about him before, they just could not seem to get that consistently out of him. If he continues to do this, why go out and spend big bucks on a winger when really, ultimately, it'd probably be better anyway to get a centerman, even if they're not playing center all the time. And it's a third line center. And it costs you way less, right? I mean, you could get a third line center for less than $2 million. So you could probably fit under the cap without having to move anything out. You don't need to move Kerfoot out. He's good insurance to have. By the way, for some reason, Alex Kerfoot's salary has negated the fact that he's played pretty well.
He gets hammered by this fan base, and it's just because of the contract.
But the contract's not even bad.
Or like he's fine. No, but like, can this particular team afford him? Right. And I saw, oh God, I can't remember who said it, but it was a very good point. Kerfoot's not a cap dump. He's a trade chip. Mm-hmm. This is a good player. He's still relatively young, sort of like early prime. You know, it's
locked up for a couple
I don't know what I want the Leafs to do. I really don't know what I want the Leafs to do. Like, I think you need
a bona fide third center, unless you're going to put
defenseman.
You want a defenseman?
No, I'd rather get a defenseman than a forward.
Could you not sort something out where, at very least, I like the grumpy old men line idea. Could you not figure out something with Kerfoot, Spezza, and Simmons?
Kerfoot, Spezza, Simmons, and then that leaves you Mikheyev, Engvall, Thornton.
Yeah.
So here's the other conversation: is if the Leafs add a forward, who's the first forward out?
Engvall.
I think it might be Joe, buddy.
You think it's Joe?
I think it might be Joe.
As a healthy scratch?
They need who's going to kill penalties? They need Engvall to kill penalties, and they just got rid of VC, who was out there killing penalties. Mm-hmm. People are talking about Kerfoot.
That's why it doesn't we got enough bodies as forwards. Unless somebody goes down, look for a defenseman.
Yep. And really, the fourth line plays like 3 minutes in the playoffs.
Right. And we
figure out the third.
And Robertson's there. Like, you could bring him up if you want to throw him in there.
As in an army of guys. They have an army of guys up front.
You could put Patan in the lineup. I don't care. Like Nick
Malgin's going to be back.
Malgin?
Yeah. Oh my God.
We talked about it. We talked about so many guys last episode, and I forgot Joey Anderson existed. That guy has a 3-year deal with the Leafs. Right. You know what I mean?
There's enough bodies in the forward group, I think.
I do worry on defense, though, and it's less of a depth thing and more of a type thing. I really like Rasmus Sandin, and it's like I was saying, if Riley went down, that's obviously disastrous, but Sandin can kind of fill that role. And if Dermott goes down, or even if you just want to take Dermott out of the lineup, Sandin can take that spot. I don't really think they have a Brody replacement. I don't know about a Hall.
Right.
And even a Bogosian, you can't just, if Bogosian gets hurt, you can't just be like, all right, Timothy, there you go. Go be Zach Bogosian for a minute there, okay?
Same like Muzzin. You have nothing that replaces Muzzin at all.
It's weird to say, but is Jake Muzzin like he's the most important defenseman on the team? What he brings is the rarest.
Pivotal. Yeah.
Pivotal in terms of you don't replace what he has. You can't.
Riley's probably the highest skilled defenseman on the team, but Muzzin, and just in terms of his play and his importance, definitely I think number one.
Justin Hall's quietly turning into a workhorse after he looked pretty pedestrian during that slump. He played 23 minutes. The most out of anyone. He played 23-44. Only 44 of that was on the penalty kill. He played 23 minutes at even strength.
That's crazy.
On the first half of a back-to-back. Shoo. That's a horse.
I think, too, you've got, with TJ Brody, you've got a guy that can do what Morgan Riley did. He's just not tasked with that.
He could do TJ Brody or right.
No, not even that. He could quarterback a power play. He can get points.
He can, and Sandin can. I'm not worried about who's quarterback in the power play. I'm more worried about the power play doing anything. But in general, even if things were going well, it does suck. Even if things were going well, I'm not terribly worried about that. I'm more worried about the penalty kill. And to the point about the penalty kill, Hutch with that second goal, I don't know if it was deflected. You probably like it to be better, but he was awful, genuinely horrible last season on the penalty kill. I got to look up his save percentage. I think it was like 750 on the penalty
just
kill.
On the penalty kill.
Oh, horrible. And he really, really battled last night on the one kill they had, a couple points in the third. He didn't look like any Michael Hutchinson from last year. That looked like a totally different player. God, I'm excited.
The spot I would look at upgrading is the Dermott spot, because I like Bogosian in the lineup, like, and then the rest through 4 I'm solid with. But like, if you get upgrade on the Dermott slot, that's cool. Like, I'll take that out of this trade deadline.
But like, it looks like they're looking at Sandin there, and the trade deadline's in 7 days.
Right.
Like, how are you going to properly evaluate there?